Good morning, everyone. This is the Assiniboine Community Committee. Today is Tuesday, November 26th. It is approximately 9:35. I would be Councillor Dobson. I'll be the chair today. We have with us Councillors Lukes, Councillor Duncan. From our clerks, we have Mr. Prinsloo, and from our public service, we have Mr. Galston. I would like to acknowledge that we are on Treaty 1 territory, the home and traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Innu, and Dakota peoples, and in the national homeland of the Red River Métis. Our drinking water comes from Shoal Lake 40 First Nation and Treaty 3 territory. And could I have someone put forward the minutes of the meeting held on October 31st? So moved by Councillor Duncan. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Could I pass the chair?
Sure, yeah, I can take it for you. Item number 1, citizen member appointments for Grants Old Mill.
We do have a number of delegations.
Oh, my apologies.
Delegations.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
Just like to come and watch us.
We are entertaining.
All right, so first up regarding report 3, which is plat approval at 2100 McGillivray Boulevard under file DASZ 22 of 1998. We have Mr. Ray Wan. We also have Michael Chen.
Wait while they hook up their flashbacks.
Is it the first one or the second one? The first one.
That's questions for you after.
Oh, great. Okay.
Nothing major.
Oh,
No,
good.
easy stuff. Easy stuff.
Sounds good. I love these.
Yes.
Wow, holy.
Councillor Duncan, could I have the chair back?
You have a good day. I'd throw it at you.
Thank you.
30 somewhat back.
Wow. So it's been chair.
Yeah, the only thing is the stream won't see it.
This is what I'm asking. That was the 20.
For those watching online, we are just having some technical difficulties. I'm sure it'll be up and running right away. Wow.
Might need a couple minutes here.
Hey,
Computer just crashed.
We do have this presentation on our agenda. It was submitted by Michael Chen. So it's up to the committee. We can either take a break, sort out the projector, or we can follow along online.
I'm fine following.
You can follow the.
Okay, we're fine, yeah.
Okay,
hold on,
okay,
hold
then
on.
we don't need to do, we just pull this out then?
All right. Go ahead.
I don't want to take too much of your time sorting on the high-tech problem. Chair,
Okay, you've
Councilor
got
Lobson.
10 minutes.
10 minutes. And, got Chair Lobson, Councilor Duncan, and Councilor Lutz. This project has been around since 2018. And we have made one really aggressive attempt one time. The challenges we have is there's a hidden, very silent agreement between Canadian Tire and SCU, Steinbeck Credit Union, that thou shall not block their visual to their building along Caniston. So the first round we have done is to build over top of the existing, demolish the existing, build underneath the building. It was a very complex process, and we went through a budgeting process and it proven that it's not viable at that time, 2018. So we took a little breathing room, and then COVID came, and we picked it up again after the pandemic is over. We reprogrammed and tried to build a new building on the south side parking lot, and eventually one day just demolished the existing branch and turned it into a parking lot. That was the most feasible solution, but from a planning perspective, I'm sure Robert and his department would say, no, you don't want a major intersection to turn into a parking lot. So without understanding with the planning and working with all the planners all this time, we decided to avoid and ignore that possibility. We did demonstrate it can be done. Canadian Tire also expressed a concern about blocking the view because now we're on the south side, truly smack in front of their store along Caniston. So we took another step back and tried to develop another way of doing it. Is to what you see today is addition to the building on both the north and the east, a little bit to the south for a new entryway, and recreate a brand new building expression and encapsulate the existing building footprint. Basically, we're going to unskin the other building, the existing building, and build a new building envelope to give a building a new image and complete renovating the existing on the inside to give a new bank hall, give the new membership hall, and amalgamate some of the orphanage departments that are out on Pembina Highway, a call center down St. Mary's. All those people will come back to the St. Linden Ridge branch. This will be one of the two possible projects that we're working on with SCU. Once we finish this one, we'll move to another site and a different part of the city to deal with other departments that are floating around other part of the city. So the designer is Michael Chan, sitting right next to me. He will do a presentation with regard to the building design. The scale of the project is about 40 million. That's the investment they want to maintain within this exciting corner that we have in McGilvery and Caniston. I'll give the floor to Michael.
I'll go over some of the design key elements at high level, things that I think were a huge positive for the site. What allowed us to do the kind of a new facade and new entry is actually utilizing a lot of the existing building structure, as well as flipping the ATM. So that provided us with a lot of leeway for the front plaza space. If you guys want to flip to the site plan, you'll see that on the south side there's a new entry plaza space where we've actually raised up main floor. So there's a bit of grandeur going into the space. So the new entry is a lot more grand and actually ties the two parking lots together a lot better. The facade has been increased with a lot more glazing to allow for natural light into the interior space. We've actually allowed for a courtyard that actually pierces the floor plate to allow natural light into the middle of the building As well, we've utilized a lot of the existing building structure as a colonnade in the main entry atrium. So for us to like utilize a lot of the existing, we are saving on a lot of wasted materials. So we are trying to push this building to a more sustainable approach, which is a lot different from our previous approach of building on top and tearing down. So we are reutilizing a lot of the existing floor plate, a lot of the existing elevations. We are infilling the second floor patio, and that will house a lot of glazing along the west, south, and north facade. So there will be a lot of natural light in this building, which previously didn't have as much, especially on main floor. So those are kind of the highlights of this building. And we think it's a very exciting one. And it will be challenging to do working with the existing compared to building new, but I think it'll hold dividends in the end result.
The project is also going, we're targeting to go to LEED Gold level. So gold, that's what our client wish to do.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Councillor Lutz has a question or two.
Are you increasing the parking lot capacity at all or decreasing it?
We actually made the stalls a little larger, but the numbers came down because when we were dealing with our landscape plan, we found in previous experience that if it's too tight, people take up 2 stalls.
Correct.
So we think this is a more viable solution, but it is a slight decrease from.
I never see it really full ever.
No.
But
No, it's existing was 152 with narrower store. And we are final design is 134 in total. It still comply with the bylaw requirement. And we also have, out of the 134, 5 of them is for regular accessory parking. And then we also have two of them for the handicap van for their parking.
what do you have for bike parking
We have 10 in the front door.
in the front door?
And we're also designing on indoor for staff, bicycle parking, shower facility on the inside.
Gold leads.
Yes.
That's great. Does that mean you're going to plant all those trees in these beautiful pictures?
Maybe not to that extent.
Let's get that.
Yeah, it does.
Yes, no, the landscaping, shrubs and trees and connectivity, they're all addressed properly and excessively exceed what is required by the bylaw by quite substantial amount.
And then, just as a curiosity here, because we passed this at the malls and corridors. Now, you're not on a mall or corridor, but we did pass glazing on the windows for birds. Now, you're probably familiar with that, right? Like, we're on a migratory path. The city of Winnipeg here, major migratory path. And, you know, I'm just going to say from experience at the U of M in Smart Park, there's a all glass building that constantly has dead birds at the bottom of it. It's, I believe it's only 2, might be 3 stories. Oh, maybe it's 4 stories high. But the recommendation that we passed, which was based on Vancouver and other bird-friendly cities, was that the glazing would go, I'd have to look it up, but just up to the height of the trees. That's all they require, the standard, like the sort of type of glazing or whatever.
Yeah.
So in a gold leads, does gold leads look at that at all?
No, not gold lead. But if we also familiar with that certain bylaw, like when we do a high-rise project in Calgary,
Right,
they have a bird protection bylaw.
right.
There's a certain application you can apply to the glazing to prevent bird flying right into the glass and break the neck, and you're just constantly picking up dead birds. That's something I think I have suggested that before. We will look into it. the tree line in Winnipeg is 4-story in average.
Mhm.
This building will probably right at the 4-story with the building height, so.
Okay, well, we did make it sort of mandatory for malls and corridors, so. Interesting that Gold Leads doesn't really address that, but I guess it's more energy efficiency and such. Okay. Well, you know what? I thought the last one looked great. I think this one looks better, so let's see it in reality. When do you expect you'll be starting on this?
We have started working drawings. The design, if I get your blessing today, we will report back to the client, but we have approval by the board to proceed. And we're aiming to tender early spring next year. Hopefully we can start construction early summer next year. There are still processes that we have to go through with the city of Winnipeg, plan approval, development permit process. I can't do that until I get today's approval. Then we will proceed with the zoning clearance and DP we need about approximately 75% completion of working drawings before I can apply for DP. So DP will be, I would say, mid-winter, late winter, before spring. We'll apply for that. Once I get the DP number, then I can apply for building permit.
Excellent.
So there's few steps yet to.
More steps. Nothing's easy. We accelerated, but that's another topic. Okay. Okay. I have no more questions. Committee chair.
Well,
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Duncan, any questions? And I have no questions as well. Thank
Stunning.
you very much for your presentation.
It'll really pick up that corner, you know, it
Yeah.
needs a good shot of something, and this is beautiful, so, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Hey, any more delegations?
That concludes delegations for today.
Okay. So now with reports. Do you want to move this one or do you want to take the chair and I'll move it?
I can move for you. I think we're looking for a layover here for item number 1.
Okay. Layover again? Yep.
Mr. Clerk, what's the timeline that we're allowed to lay over up until?
Technically, there is no limit as to the amount of time that you can lay this over for.
I think,
Lay it over to the next meeting.
I think just given time in the season with other people's prior commitments, it would be probably advisable to do a 60-day layover in this case.
Okay. 60-day layover. All those in favor?
aye,
Motion's carried. Item number 2.
great, non-conforming approach, on Willow Creek in the Waverly West Ward. I'm supportive of the public services recommendations. So I will make a motion that the recommendation of the Winnipeg Public Service be concurred in and the application for a non-conforming approach be approved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion's carried.
And then we need supporting reasons.
Sporting reasons, makes sense. Sporting reasons. Well, it logically makes sense. I don't know. I guess that's why.
I could point out the fact that they have supporting reasons. They have a garage door that faces the street, and their existing approach makes it very awkward to enter that garage door.
Perfect.
Good enough.
Yep,
Okay,
perfect.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion, aye. Motion is carried. That it?
Final approval, number 3?
Yeah.
Okay,
Plan number 3.
final approval for 2100 McGillivray Boulevard. All right, so the public service recommends approval of the submitted plans. We've gone through the diagram, we've gone through the drawings that have been presented by the opponent here. This is, I think it's a spectacular development, or it's not a new development, it's a rehabilitated development, I guess you'd call it, rehabilitated. And to hear that it's striving for gold leads is fantastic. Extra foliage is being put in, extensive extra foliage is being put in. And, yeah, it's a spectacular design. It's been a bit of a long time coming, as we heard from the proponent, that, there was another design due to COVID and other reasons. The design has been upgraded, and I think it's spectacular. It's going to look spectacular on that corner. So I'm very supportive of this and make a motion to recommend approval of the submitted plans.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion's carried.
Motion to adjourn, one of the shortest community committees we've ever had.
All those in favor?
Bravo.
Motion's carried. We're adjourned.
Okay. See you guys. Thank you very much.